A few Sundays ago, God gave the leadership of this message, the opening to this message. And I thank y'all because God just started bringing it back to my mind. That, we talk about hiding. But the funny thing is, we don't consider what our kids do, what our kids are exposed to, because we're too busy hiding instead of praying like we should be.
All right.
Say what you want. I went to the Hollow Stream, I think it's called, over at Busch Gardens with my family and some of their friends. I mainly went because they wanted me to go. I'm trying to be the good husband and father figure. And I just wanted to find out what it was like to ride the rods at night. My kids keep on telling me, well, I had a bad feeling all night that night. And I say all this because when we was walking down the entrance to get back to where the rods are, there was a man sitting squatted down. I mean, he's down here, down low. He's all down like this here. He's trying to scare people. That's his job. But the thing is, when I walked by, it turned around and watched me. The guy was sitting here, but that demon turned around and looked at me just like this. I mean, eye to eye the whole way past me. And I've told Pastor about this. I said, it's amazing what our kids are exposed to, and nobody can see it because God allowed me to see it in the spirit why I needed to see it. Because that's right there at the entrance. And everybody's passing through this. And I believe that's why God had me go that night. And so I could see what He needed me to see to preach this sermon today. The question is, why are we hiding? I mean, like, it was mentioned that, back in Sunday school, it was mentioned back in the day of Isaac and Jacob and Esau, it didn't matter if you was 50 years old, your parents told you to do something, you did.
Amen.
But now, 12-year-olds sit there and cuss you out because you sit there and told them to go
My Lord,
clean your room.
My Lord.
Don't ask them to wash the dish.
My Lord.
And I mean, but the problem is too many of us are too busy hiding from our kids instead of living the life we should be, reading the Word, and training them up the right way so they shall not depart when they're older.
Amen.
I was brought up in church. I hated church. And I said I would never go back. Then I found this church. I can't leave it. I'm over 2,000 miles away. They had to come back down here.
All right.
Because I was running and hiding. Because, Pastor Wilkett really impressed me as far as what he had been through. He said he's been there, the homeless, in the streets, nothing to eat, and everything else. And many times I watched, I had to watch it and watch it and watch it. And finally it clicked in my head what he was saying. He went from living in the streets to being a pastor at a church.
Yes.
Because he let God do His will. Instead of him getting all bearing down and all poor pitiful me, I'm out here in the streets. It don't, our past sometimes is the future for others. And if you don't know what it's like to live in the streets, to be without food, having if you go to McDonald's and order one of those little bitty 69-cent sandwiches, and you order 2 of them, when you start eating the second one, you feel bad because you wasted that dollar you could use tomorrow. But see, the thing is I was trying to hide from a calling.
Well.
You know, my wife asks me all the time if I'm sure this is what God wants me to do. You know, and it's not nothing wrong, don't get me wrong. Because even y'all have heard my mom sit there and say, oh, well, we've been told all his life he's supposed to be a preacher, blah, blah, blah. She asked me, not trying to be in the wrong, but be in the right, that makes me stop and think, is this really what God's got planned? And then God starts dealing with me about things. And, you know, on the way this morning to church, I realize I'm too embarrassed to say stuff to somebody about the, you know, hey, don't be using the GD word in front of me. Because, you know, I just feel like it's wrong to do that because that's who they are, this is who I am. I shouldn't push my thoughts and my ways on them. But you never know when you sit there and say something as simple as asking somebody not to say certain words in front of you, how much dramatic it can be. But anyhow, I just hope the word helped her. I believe I kind of held myself back this morning. But anyhow, just think about what I said, that God had y'all to hear this morning.
Amen.
We're going to turn it back over to Pastor.
Amen.